Due domande lì da parte degli utenti di Screen Week, poi abbiamo una domanda lì per Paolo Mocci il Messaggero, poi Claudio Morgoglioni e poi ritorneremo qui per le altre domande. Prego, poi c'è una domanda lì.
Allora, è stata data la possibilità di porre le domande ai fan della pagina ufficiale del film e queste sono le due domande più votate. Per Antonio Banderas, quanto di tuo, oltre la voce, c'è del personaggio del gatto che un po' riporta alla tua interpretazione di Zorro e a quella tipologia di personaggio che ti sei ispirato? Ripeto?
No, credo che un attimo che c'è la traduzione che sta arrivando, però in parte è stata già risposta. E poi la domanda per Salma Hayek anche c'era, mi sembra.
Sì, Kitty non ha gli artigli, ma è scaltra e intelligente. Quali sono i tuoi artigli?
Yes, what are your clothes?
Bueno, that's a good question. I think that in society for many years women have been declawed in one way or another. Society has taken away our tools to fight. It's always like this. They don't pay us as much as the man, but somehow, listen to this, we find a way to fight back. It doesn't matter if we don't have any claws. And I think one of our abilities, the most important one, is the capacity to improvise, to be in the moment and do the best that you can with what you have. And this is a beautiful quality for women that have been in history, you know, when they have nothing to eat and the man brings $2, the women manage to find something to give their children. So we have this ability to make things the best that they can be, even when they are at the worst. So you can take the clothes, we will always survive.
Allora, vorrei ricordare una domanda sola per talent, così facciamo fare le domande a tutti perché siamo fuori di chiusura. Prego per Paolo, poi Claudio Morgoglione subito dopo e poi andiamo qui. C'era una domanda.
In realtà erano due, non so quale scegliere, quindi sceglierò la seconda. Per Banderas le chiedo se conosce il cinema italiano contemporaneo, se insomma registi come Nanni Moretti, Paolo Sorrentino o altri insomma la incuriosiscono, ha seguito dei film e se le piacerebbe lavorare con un regista italiano insomma del momento.
I would like to work in any place that has a good story to tell and a good director to direct me. Especially in the last 3 years, you know, related to some events that happened in my professional life, I changed agents and I decided just to work with people that I really love. And meanwhile that happens, I just try to do things by myself, produce things, tailor my own suits. And that's what I am at this particular moment in my life doing. And that's why I work, even if it's little characters, I don't care, just to work with Woody Allen. I did a movie with Soderbergh. I went with Jean-Jacques Hano, with my dear friend Pedro Almodovar. And I am here because I love this project, you know. Yes, Italy has been always a tremendous force in the world of cinematography. It's true that probably more in the past than right now. That is the truth. But still, there are people like Moretti, Paolo Sorrentino, and there is a story actually that is not going to be directed by him, but it was offered to me by Paolo Sorrentino as a producer. Tell a real story of a Cuban man that went through the United States from Cuba searching for his son and was accidentally killed in Washington when he was going to have an interview with Barack Obama. This is a real story that broke into news like 7-8 years ago. So there is some context with Italian, you know, cinematographers. But I don't know if it's going to happen because I have this year very busy with producing a movie and probably I'm going to direct my third movie at the end of 2012 or beginning of 2013, and at the same time I have my own animation company, not as big as DreamWorks, but we were nominated for an Academy Award 2 years ago for a short film called Lady and the Reaper, and so we are now finishing our second feature film in the south of Granada. The company is called Candle Graphics, and the movie is called Justin. And so I have a lot of projects, and I may go back even to theater on Broadway, so there is a lot of things in my mind.
Claudia?
Sì, volevo sapere se Kitty e il gatto faranno dei gattini e quanti nel prossimo film.
Alessandra Magliaro della...
I really think this should be answered by Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Why?
Because he's the one planning the sequel, right?
I will be the father.
Actually, Valentina was very sad because she said, why they never kiss? She's really looking for the kiss. So maybe in the next movie.
That's her daughter, Valentina. You know, making these movies for all of us, we fall in love with the characters, and in this case, we actually fall in love with the actors also, which is not always the case, but is certainly the case this time. You know, the decision about being able to continue to tell more of the stories and the adventure and the life of Puss is determined by two. First, and most importantly, it's actually determined by the audience. And so we are in the hands of the movie gods right now. If they bless us with a great success, then we'll be able to continue to tell stories. The second thing is it obviously takes a good story and a good storyteller, and so that's Mr. Miller, so that will depend on him also.
But just in case we have a sequel, Antonio and I are already trying to look for names for our children.
Claudia Morgoglione, adesso Repubblica.it, poi abbiamo una domanda qui e poi una lì.
Una domanda per la signora Hayek. Volevo sapere come donna forte, con o senza figli, come la sua gattina nel film, lei diciamo, cosa fa per proteggere la sua famiglia da certi eccessi di attenzione mediatica, visto che sia lei che suo marito siete personaggi molto noti e quindi in un certo senso è inevitabile? Grazie.
Well, I can protect my family in many ways, and it is my job to do that. I make sure that my daughter spends enough time with me. I make sure that I spend enough time with my husband. I get a lot of help from my friends. You know, I have a very difficult schedule, and so does he. And we have done a brilliant job at this, and at having a very happy, solid family with a healthy child that is respectful and she's obedient, and at the same time she has a great spirit, and she's growing up in a family that is stable. That is my job, and I cannot protect my family from the press or what they say. But what is important, it's not that. What is important is what we have. And I'm very proud of how we've done that. And I am actually very happy within this family. I'm very proud of the family we have created.
Abbiamo una domanda lì in fondo e poi abbiamo una domanda lì, a lei che è in prima fila. Allora, l'ultima domanda. Brevi per possibilmente.
Dori dai 4, buongiorno. Per Antonio Banderas, dato che è malaguegno, giusto? Quindi conterraneo di Ruiz Picasso, le dico che Picasso aveva imparato l'italiano, quindi la prossima volta che torna in Italia la vogliamo esaminare.
La domanda, per favore.
La domanda è, mi è venuta l'illusione che vedendo il film Gatto Micio sia un hidalgo del secolo d'oro, però è stato virato, non so se per colpa di Chris Miller, in Robin Hood. Cioè, che cosa c'è di vero? Cioè, nel senso che ha uno spessore da cavaliere spagnolo per me. Quindi,
perfetto, lasciamo rispondere, prego.
Sure. Spanish night too. Let's talk about something that we didn't do before that is related to your question somehow. It's very important for us, the Latino community that is working in Hollywood, for all the Latino community in general that lives in the United States, to have a movie that actually, and a studio, in this case, that bets for us. That is actually, this is the biggest budget ever in a story, a Spanish story coming out of Hollywood. It's funny that it's through two cats, but that's the way it is. Where the heroic characters, they have an accent, and villains, they speak perfect English. And that is very important, believe it or not. Because when I got to the United States 22 years ago, they said to me, if you're going to stay and work in here, you're going to do the villains. You're going to be the bad guy, almost, the narco-trafficker, the delinquent, the robber. You will never be the hero. And it's not happening in Zorro, in some other characters that I have done, that you get the heroic character and suddenly. But this is a very interesting bet that DreamWorks did, not only with this movie, it did it for the Asian community with Kung Fu Panda, too. Supporting cultural diversity in a country that it needs that. And especially that is a Spanish community that has been working very hard, sacrificed a lot, coming from countries with very difficult political situations and social and economical, to work in that country, and working very hard to put their kids in the university. And all those kids came in this new generation, and they are architects and doctors, and they're politicians, and they're in the Supreme Court, and that has to have a reflection also in the world of entertainment. And so that's beautiful. And also at the same time, giving us the possibility to do characters that, though they are into the parameters of what you say, heroic characters like Errol Flynn and the Knights of Spain and Zorro and whatever you want to put in there, they are not cliches. The character of her is beautiful. It's a woman that is independent, free-spirited, she's a fighter. She can fight with a guy and be up to him. She's not a submissive princess, that is waiting for somebody to rescue her, and she's just waiting there. It's not like that. It's a character that is a Spanish woman with tremendous potency. That is important for the kids to see. And my character is not the machist character that a Spanish guy, even if he's heroic, is supposed to be. Accept her in the way that she is. In fact, celebrate that she is strong. And at the end of the movie, when they're just jumping through the roofs, and she says goodbye, and for now, and she got the boots of the guy look at her and says, I don't love you. It's not the line, but it's there, So that is important. No cliches in that kind of approach into the Spanish community for us. It's very good. It's a little bit more than you asked me, but I just wanted to say it. Yeah.
Allora, non c'è tempo purtroppo neanche per l'ultima domanda. Chiedo scusa a tutte le persone.